27, I believe.
Was there ever a situation like that before in your career? Having a massive cut like that?
No, never. First time.
Hey Tyson, AJ talked about he has suffered from anxiety and his ring walk to the fight. You a big advocate of mental health, and you're here doing this for the kids, you know, helping the kids.
Yeah.
Could you just elaborate? He said that sometimes in his ring walk, he wants to turn around. You're a big advocate about mental health and things. I suffered from DPH. I don't know if you ever heard of DPHD. It's like a separation. You feel separated.
Yeah.
Could you just elaborate on that?
You know, it's anxiety can hit no matter where you are or what you're doing. It's a terrible time to come down with anxiety on a ring walk because you've got a massive event coming right in front of you. You know, I suppose with me, I never get it there. Never had it while I'm boxing. So my boxing is always my security. It always makes me feel secure. Like I never feel depressed or never feel down while I'm boxing. It always gives me good hope. But you know, like I said, it can happen to anybody anywhere. And I'm not sure what the thing is to stop anxiety on a ring walk, because if we knew the answers to the mental health questions, no one would have any mental health anymore. If I could tell you what it is that makes me depressed or what it is that makes me anxious, then I'd obviously stop doing that thing that makes it happen. So I obviously don't know the answers, or I'd stop myself, but it's the thing that we have to get on with, and we have to keep battling on a daily basis forever. You know, people ask me and they say to me all the time, oh, you beat mental health. I didn't beat mental health. Mental health will never go away. It'll always be there until the day I die. But I've got to learn to manage and maintain my problems. And I do that by training all the time and keeping a positive mental attitude. That's the way I work.
Those are the words of Tyson Fury. Of course, Tyson Fury was at a local event, and his objective was to promote mental health, not really to talk about boxing. Of course, he's a boxer, so those questions came up. And speaking of questions that concern mental health, was Anthony Joshua. And of course, we know Anthony Joshua has revealed that he gets anxiety during ring walks. Now, he didn't specify which ring walk. He just said ring walks, so we should assume that that's all of them. And he, in his article, you know, questioned like to himself, like, hey, you know, times he felt like turning back around, to the point that's where the anxiety, you know, took him. You know, and Tyson Fury responded like, well, I don't get those problems because boxing is his security, not necessarily something that makes him anxious. I think what Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury have are two different things. You know, as one, I think Anthony Joshua's anxiety, I think people use that word anxiety kind of loosely. I think a lot of people get that, you know, but only he could tell you how he feels. And I hate to be the person that tells, oh, it's not that big of a deal, because I'm not Anthony Joshua. So I want to stop right there, you know, counterpunch myself before people get the wrong idea, you know. But Tyson Fury did bring up a good point. If he knew why he was depressed, there wouldn't be any mental health issues at all. He just knows how to cope with it. He will always have it. He never beat it, you know, because a lot of people, and I think I've said it once upon a time, he's beat mental health. No, he just didn't kill himself because of mental health. He's still around. By the grace of God, he's here. You know what I mean? And he didn't do anything stupid because of his own mental problems. Okay, so that's one thing. And, you know, of course, he trains all the time, keeps himself occupied, makes smaller goals throughout the day that keeps him, you know, busy mentally, you know, instead of getting things that overwhelming and having a void mind or an idle mind, because an idle mind can really bother you. And I speak from personal experience. If you don't have shit to do most of the day and you have no structure, those type of things can happen. Okay. Anxiety, for me personally, I used to think it was like a myth. you know, or somebody that just really sensitive that can't handle shit. I honestly thought that until maybe 6 years ago. I had a real bad breakup, and then I knew what anxiety was like. Shit was just overwhelming, and I never experienced it before. But one thing I knew about anxiety, it was something that I do not and would not wish on anyone, because this shit is real. I didn't know it was real until I felt it. Oh shit, I never felt like this. You know, so dealing with anxiety can be a mother, you know. Dealing with anxiety is one of those things where, you know, you have to be strong, or there has to be something else that you're focused on besides how you're feeling at that time. You know, and mental health is real, especially coming from a person like Tyson Fury. Look at Tyson Fury for a minute. Tyson Fury went over to someone else's backyard, a guy that's held the heavyweight crowns for a decade, and upset him. You know, and then though that success revealed all the inner demons that was worrying him, because I think there was nothing for him to do. There was no other goals for him to, you know, accomplish. I think that's really what done it, along with other factors, you know, because he did get some, UCAD did come down on him and claim that he failed a drug test, and he had a reported failed drug test, and he couldn't fight. So that was another problem. So everything that he did work for, he lost outside the ring. So that, I think, along with the, you know, partying too much and other problems that he couldn't do anything about, was too overwhelming. As far as Anthony Joshua goes, I think Anthony Joshua was talking about something that he's dealing with, because I think he's the kind of guy, if you look at his videos, Joshua's the kind of guy that wants you to take the journey with him. You know, those what his videos want. He wants to narrate his life along with the people that follow him together. So I think what he was doing, since he did overcome certain things and he didn't walk away from a fight, he was showing that, hey, sometimes I have these feelings while I'm doing my ring walk. You know, obviously at this point, he is considered an alpha male. So a lot of things, if he's going through something, you won't never know it anyway until he tells you. Okay. So in this situation, obviously it hasn't got the best of him, because he hasn't done anything stupid like walk away or run away. You know, the only red flag was June 1st. Was that one of the factors that we were talking about? But we'll never know that unless he says so. So anyway, Tyson Fury gave his spill on his side of mental illness, and you know, and of course you have different diagnosis, different factors, different things, and different, I would say, strands, but types of mental illness. Okay. And Anthony Joshua with the anxiety, and then of course Tyson Fury with whatever is going on with Tyson Fury. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Tyson Fury's comments and struggle during mental illness. Of course, please subscribe, and you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.